The following broadcast is a presentation of iRacing Motorsport and Simulations live on PTRTV. We'd like to thank all of our partners for their support.
He may get the run on the outside, off of the back straightaway. 26 at Hallmark, trying to go 3 wide, no one's with him.
Talking and bobbing and weaving down the back straightaway, looking for a way around. The 5 machine trying to take a look underneath the 3 car. He's gonna dive in down to the bottom. A huge move down to the bottom of the racetrack.
Back bumper. Can anything happen through the tri-oval? Walker Thomas to the inside. Here he comes to the outside. Side by side through the tri-oval. The 14. It's going to be a photo finish to the line. Who's going to get it? Walker Thomas.
Machine coming out of turn number 4. Tiller looking to go 3 wide, almost 4 wide. He's going to try to look for a gap. Bobbing and weaving for the lead down through the tri-oval.
Photo finish.
2 by 2. The 65 gets the win.
Welcome race fans to PTRTV on LSRTV, hitting the wine country in Sonoma, California for the Integrity Racing League for 175 miles around Sonoma Raceway. The Rowell 175 here tonight. Sonoma Raceway again, PTRTV on LSRTV. Bringing you the calls tonight is myself, Corey Silva, the man behind the cameras as well, and I got Evan Block and Joe Chris behind the scenes. Evan, we followed the Cup schedule, and of course, that cannot miss a visit to Sonoma Raceway in these Monster Energy NASCAR Cup machines. We've turned some laps in these things here this week. This is going to be a handful.
Yeah, this is without a doubt, especially with this setup, the hardest track that these drivers are going to go to. It's just very slick. There's not much grip out here at all, and it's going to be very, very tough for these drivers to stay on the track.
Yeah, you have 900 horsepower. You have a very hot track here in the Sonoma Valley, and it's just not going to be an easy combination. These guys are going to have some wheel spin. These guys are going to have a lot of wheel spin, and they got a lot of tight corners to navigate, and they really need to keep those rear tires on those cars. So as qualifying is underway here, you see drivers putting their laps down, and I'm going to assume we're going to see a little bit of a variance here. We see Adam de Blasio, not much of a surprise. He's up in the top of the scoring pylon by almost a half of a second over Don Stevenson. And then a whole bunch of drivers there as we scroll through, kind of running in the 119 second bracket. And a lot of drivers have yet to turn a time. Maybe they struggled keeping those things on track. We know how hard that is going to be to keep all these things just on track tonight.
Yeah, about 25 seconds left here in qualifying, and like you said, only 15 cars have turned a lap so far, and it's about a 30-car field it looks like, so drivers may just getting a tire off in the sand will cause them to disqualify their lap.
Yeah, we had some little bit of worriedness from the league owner about what kind of field size we'd have today, but still a lot of guys turned up today. I think about 30 drivers still turning up here to the road course, ready to put their efforts into the race here tonight, and these drivers have completed those laps. So without further ado, let's bring to you the PTRTV on LSRTV starting lineup here from the Sonoma Raceway. on the pole here tonight with a lap time of 1 minute 18 second, 0.065 rather, is Adam de Blasio. So congrats to him on that lap. And then in P2 we have Don Stevenson. In third is Colton Landis. We've been told that we've been saying that wrong. Colton Landis, not Landis. Landis in third spot. Guillermo Alvarez in fourth. And then we have William Dunn and Brad Patton fifth and sixth. Joseph Tice and Nick Ward seventh and eighth.
And Jacob Fife rolling off in ninth. Andrew Fayash on his right side. Jason Miller in 11th. Samuel Nato in 12th. And then Eric de Blasio 13th. Todd Thomas 14th. Jay Heisman in 15th. And Alan Roll in 16th.
P17, David Rattler, Lance Gentles in 18th spot, Alan Pahari in 19th, and Tom Wetmore in P20. James Hudson and Caleb Eisenhower, 21st and 22nd, and then Joseph Yakes and Neil Froelich, 23rd and 24th.
And rest of the field, we have Randy Fash in 25th, Marco Tomasini in 26th, Kent Weatherall in 27th, Pierce in 20th, and Camilo Thompson in 29th.
So not quite 30. I was close there. 29 drivers on the grid here tonight. Again, we are doing 55 laps of racing here at Sonoma Raceway. Sonoma Raceway is a... Let me just check here before I get out false information. About 2-mile facility here. 10 turns in Sonoma, California. So that will be the challenge here tonight. And Evan, what do you say is the most troublesome corner for these drivers tonight?
Well, I'm just going to say most likely the S's are going to be the most troublesome corners because just a very high-speed section. It's not going to be very much grip through there, so we'll see if that is the case. But I'd say the S's.
Yeah, the S's, and of course here coming up the hill, not an easy feat as well, as these guys have a quick left-right switch there for the top of the hill there. They'll come through this sector of the track, and right here a little bit of a dip, and then a little bit of a left-hander as they have a blind set of corners here. This is a tough corner right here that they're coming through right now. This is a blind corner exit, so they're going to take that right-hander and have no idea where that car is going to point to as they go down the hill here. And this is one of the biggest passing opportunities on the track. You have the set of chutes here, the set of right-hand corners. There's one. Gotta watch out for that wall to the left side of the screen there. That tire barrier really sticks out at you, and this is going to be a prime passing zone right here.
I'd say this turn and then turn 11, or I know it's called 11 some. The final corner is probably going to be the most easiest places to pass.
And as Evan said, this is going to be a troublesome spot potentially, is coming through the S's here where these tires start to wear off and these drivers lose the little bit of grip they have right now. They're going to have to maneuver those vehicles through that sector of the track, and then this is probably the fastest sector of Sonoma here, coming right at the bottom of the S's, and they're going to have this quick right-hand flick that'll set them up for the best passing opportunity, the famous hairpin at Sonoma.
But coming out of the turn number 10 here, getting ready for the pace car to pull into pit road.
Yes, it is. So buckle them belts up tight. We're turning left and right here tonight for the Integrity Racing League live PTRTV on LSRTV. Buckle them belts tight. Get yourself a drink. Get yourself a snack. Get ready for some race. And the pace car is in. We wait for Adam de Blasio to get this race underway. He's going to take up the box. Green flag is in the air. We're road racing here tonight.
de Blasio got a pretty good jump over the 47. Still going to be side-by-side down into the first corner, but it looks like the 48 is going to clear. Coming up the hill now, it's going to be one car already off in the sand. Trying to see who that is.
Yeah, we have a couple drivers off the track. Who is that? That is the 06 machine. That is Jay Heisman off the track. And then we had somebody else. Oh, couple
Todd
drivers
Thomas.
there. Todd Thomas. He's a very big driver in this league. Who else is that going off-roading here? Eagle 1 machine there. That's the 73, I believe it to be, of Jason Miller. So a lot of off-roading going on here on this opening lap, but up front, everybody did manage to get themselves through safely, and de Blasio to about 4 car lengths.
Most of the field single file now as they're getting ready to come through the S's here. I think there's going to be a lot of... I think this race is going to get pretty spread out here. It already kind of has here, as they're just now coming out of the S's already. It is really spread out.
Yes, it is, and obviously a tough track. There's not a lot of It's not like Watkins Glen, the 2 road courses on the NASCAR, almost said Winston Cup, Monster Energy Cup, and then obviously on the iRacing side, the Integrity Racing League, only 2 road courses. Watkins Glen, a lot straighter of a track, just a lot of hard braking zones and a lot of straightaways, but at Sonoma, you really never get a break. You're constantly wheeling that car.
Yeah, Sonoma is a fairly simple and easy road course. Sonoma, not so much. It is definitely one of the toughest road courses out there just because there's so many corners that you cannot see around.
Yeah, that and just the narrowness of the track, and obviously add a 3,400-pound stock car to that just does not have any kind of assist toward the driver. It is a difficult sight as Guillermo Alvarez in the 83, he is closing in on Colton Landis there in that 49. As you can see, those drivers trying to stay off of that tire barrier there off of the first corner of the chute. I think that's 4A we call it, if I can recall correctly. But
that's just turn 4.
There is a 4 and a 4A here, as we will dispute over this, but
no, it's 3 and 3A, and then 8 and 8A.
All right, so you win. Race sponsor Alan Rowell just lost a spot to David Rattler in the 09 machine, as right behind him. Thought they were going side by side through the S's. That would be a death sentence if they tried that, but luckily they thought better of it. Some action going on there. The 51 machine and the 94, Eisenhower and Rowell through turn number 10. Oh, Tom Wetmore into the dirt there, kicking up some dust off corner number 10 into the hairpin. Here comes the 29 Alan Pahari. This is for 15th. Digging to the inside and trying to get on the throttle. This is the toughest part, to get on that throttle. Everyone doing a good job. Minimal wheel spin that I did see there.
Yeah, the 42 did get right back by him there, but he managed to keep it straight up off the corner. It's a 94 right behind him, almost into the wall there. So they're going up the hill now. 42 wide once again there. Allowed the 94 as well as the 29 to catch up a little bit, going up through 3 and 3A now.
Yeah, man, Evan, I don't know if you oh, actually, Evan, I'm going to cut myself off there. The battle for second heating up even further. Landis and Stevenson going for P2 there. He really got to the back bumper of the 47 through the braking zone, going through the S's, and I'll tell you, they have not dropped off of de Blasio, so top 3 staying relatively intact here. Coming through the quick right-hand flick here, that is turn 10, and then coming into the hard braking zone. See, going through the dip there into the hairpin. Oop, Alvarez killing the cones there in the 83 machine, but off of the exit of the hairpin, taking lap number 4. And Evan, I don't know if you've had the same experience as me, but this sector of the track is not easy as well. This little start-finish line section with the walls around, that is not an easy set to get through.
Yeah, it may be called the front stretch, but it is anything but straight there, and you can get a ton of wheel spin because you're coming up through the gears, second to third, and I don't know if these drivers are getting into 4th here. I know in real life they were not, but they may be here. But you can get a ton of wheel spin there. But this 47 is Stevenson. He seems like he's quite a bit quicker than de Blasio.
Now let's well, we can bring up the telemetry here on Stevenson and see what he is indeed doing. If he's going to get into 4th, he's going to do it here, but that is dependent if the 48 is slowing him up or not. See his second gear, he's up to 3rd here. Slows it down for this left-hander, and this is a long sweeping right-hander. Fastest point of the racetrack is right here, down this left-handing sweeping turn, and then set yourself up here for a good run. That sets you up for a pass in turn 11. Too far back to make a move, but see if he does dive for it.
It seemed like he stayed in 3rd all the way through to that section there.
Yeah, he did.
We'll see if he does here.
De Blasio from his rear bumper, he got a better run off the exit of the corner, does pull away just by a little bit there through the front straightaway as we take yet another lap. Didn't see any 4th gear from Elise de Blasio.
This part here is where Stevenson seems like he's a lot better than de Blasio, just that uphill the first 2 or 3 corners.
Now this is, in my opinion, well, there's 2 rhythm sections of the track. There's this section and the S's. Does seem that, at least in the first rhythm section, that we'll give it to Stevenson, but it did look like de Blasio got through the S's a little bit better last time, at least. Big separation for the top 3, and Alvarez is trying to hang with him there in 4th. He's just about maybe a second off the back bumper of Landis.
Yeah, Alvarez is really wheeling that thing. He got really loose out of turn 4 there. Managed to keep it off of the wall, though.
Hopping the curbs there through the S's was that number 83 machine, and that's something that will help the car turn, but it can help the car turn too well there, so you have to watch out for that. This looks like de Blasio starting just to pull out just by a little bit here. Landis really drove it deep into the hairpin there, and I don't know if he tried to get a different corner exit, but didn't work for him either way. And Evan, one thing to bring out as well, and to let the fans know, no caution flags on the road courses, so no matter who spins off the track or what happens, no stages, no competition caution, no cautions for any incident. So this will be a complete green flag race.
Yeah, and that really changes how you go at this race strategy-wise, which, Corey, how far would you say we could go? Probably 25, 30 laps or so?
I mean,
that's what they're doing in the real life, around 30 laps.
In real Sonoma, I mean, in the real world, they can go 40 to 43 laps, but that's if you really want to stretch it. There's no need to stretch it here, at least given the race circumstances tonight. So
probably 27, 28 laps is what they're going to want to do, just kind of split it up.
I would expect a lot of drivers just to do 50-50, split the race in half, but you may see a couple drivers go a couple laps early just to try to get that undercut on the fresher tires. We're already at here, actually. We'll pull up the lap graphic here, and we'll see what they were running last time by, as Stevenson has closed yet again to the back bumper of de Blasio there. So de Blasio's best lap was a 19.777, so 5 completed laps into the race. He's only dropped off half a second, so we'll see how that does carry on as the run progresses.
We've had our first driver take it behind the wall. Eric de Blasio is done for the night. Looked like he had a early lap 1 incident, and that took him out of it.
Yeah, the number 11, I didn't see him. I saw a couple drivers have some incidents, but obviously too much for the 11 to recover from. And what we didn't get to do earlier was talk about the point standings. And de Blasio, with his 4 wins this season, and out of 14 races he's been in the top 5, 13 of them. So that's brought him out to a 147-point lead.
Yeah, he's had 13 top 5s in 14 races. The next best is Don Stevenson with 4 in 14 races.
Yeah, and it's not to say that, as you said, Heaven, that he's just ran more races than anybody else. He's just legitimately just been that competitive and that consistent all season, and it's a tribute to his skill, and I'm assuming the practice that he does put in. But 147 up, and then we have actually, to be honest, Evan, behind that, it's actually relatively close in the standings. Only 2 points behind Stevenson is William Dunn, 149 back, and then Todd Thomas, 179, and Alvarez, Heisman tied. We have Joshua Campbell, a couple points back, Fife, a couple points behind that.
And Miller, a couple points behind that. So the points are very close if you take out the leader.
Yeah, so just, I mean, we saw it last week.
The battle for second is good.
I was going to say, Speedo taking out the leader. Didn't we see that last week? But as his first driver going a lap down, that's Randy Fayash. As through the chute there, he allows Landis to get by. And Evan, this is another thing that we're going to see with the speed differential, as Alvarez will really dive it in to get by Fayash. With the speed differential, you're going to see guys just literally out to survive. And I think the 76 falls in that criteria tonight.
Yeah, there's a lot of varying skill level on road courses in this league. As 7 laps, and we already have 1 driver going a lap down. And just with how spread out the field is already, looks like the top 2 have about a 2.5 gap over 3rd already.
Yeah, and Stevenson has just thrown the parachute on the past couple laps. He's now 1.7 seconds back as we complete lap number 8 this time by. Top 5 is separated by 9 seconds. And behind Brad Patton, Evan, we have a gaggle of cars. Andrew Fayash, William Dunn, Jacob Fife, Dave Radler, they are all under a blanket here coming up the hill. Yeah,
Fayash leading that group. Actually, Patton is up there. I didn't see him in front of Vash.
So this is this is where it really tests you, Evan, where you really you see what the guy in front of you is doing, and you know where you need to beat him, but just using that little bit of extra throttle can send you around and just kill that run you had going.
I think at this point in the race, you're just trying to make it to lap 55. You're going to kind of wait to battle until a little bit closer to the end. Right now, these drivers are just kind of taking it easy.
Yeah, that's really the best strategy to go. We've only completed 9 laps, so this race still has at least an hour on the stopwatch remaining. So a lot of turns to screw up on, a lot of opportunities to get off the track and take yourself out. So just take advantage of what you know you can do and just don't screw that up, really. If you know you're not a top driver and you know you're not going to be going for the wins, don't put yourself in a situation that you really can't drive yourself out of, if that makes any sense.
The gap from a 10th to 11th is over 10 seconds. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, Joseph Tice just crosses the stripe, and then Gentle's in the 11th spot. He's in the kink there, just trying to get through, as we have, who is that, Randy Fayash, trying to get out of the way, just parks it in the middle of the hairpin. Just lets everybody go, and I think he's parking it. Fayash is just completely stopped. I think he's just trying so hard to get out of the way.
There he gets going now.
You all go. Yep, there he goes. Hey, that is, I've seen getting out of the way. I've never seen it to that degree before. But he's just, as I said, he's turning laps and just trying not to cause problems, so.
He's trying to make it out alive.
Yep, and I know I started, Evan, you know me. I mean, we like, us too, we love road course racing, and I always look forward to when we go to Watkins Glen. I look forward to coming here, but for some reason, I don't know if it's just something with the setup or maybe just something with the tires that just don't add up, but I know I would have already been wrecked out at this point if I was in this race.
Yeah, I believe you made it about 1 lap in practice, and then you just snoped out of it.
And then
you were tired of doing it. And then for some reason you decided to do a race, and that didn't go very well. I made it,
to be honest, in all fairness, I made it 4 laps, and I believe it was right about here as I'm following Fayash, Andrew Fayash, if I can get that right. Right about here, you can see him wiggle, and I wiggled a little bit too much, and you didn't unwiggle. Yeah, and then I came through here subsequently, and I'm pretty sure I pounded that tire wall. So we have battle for position here. Hard on the binders is the 09 of Rattler to the inside of William Dunn. Dunn, who is 3rd in points right now, hanging on to a top 10 as best he can. He'll fall back in to 8th spot, and then 36 of Jacob Fife, who I talked to him earlier in the week, said he is typically in integrity one of the better road course racers, but again, he was one that just could not quite come to grips with this setup and just these circumstances, but he's trying to get himself to the top 10.
DeBlasio coming up on a couple more lap cars here. 70 of Kent Wetherell as well
off the
as
track.
Lee Pierce.
Lee Pierce off the track. The 70 of Kent Wetherell just got out of the way, and again, that
28 really got out of the way there.
And Evan, you may agree with me, you may disagree with me, but does it sometimes throw you off more when a lapper's trying so hard to get out of the way that sometimes they get more in the way?
Sometimes it can.
It all depends, because if you're expecting them to maybe just get offline at a reasonable point, but then they do something rather erratic to get out of the way. I mean, sometimes, at least for me, I've had that really throw me off a couple times. Coming through the S's right now. Alvarez is trying to get by that 28. He'll get by as 28 heads to the right there and allows him by. He has Wetherell right in front of him, so that'll compromise him through this sector of the track. 28 almost got in the back of Alvarez there.
Yeah, 28 overdrove into 10 a little bit there, and there goes Alvarez getting by the 70 as well, the 28 trying to follow through turn 11.
Yeah, but that does cease itself out, so we are 13 laps in, and Abner Blasio, he's dominated all season, shows he is just the man to battle with all season, and we take it to a road course where sometimes that we see new people shine. We see new people at the top of the scoring pylon, and not the case. The Dominator is, well, he's dominating again.
Yeah, de Blasio, Lanz, Alvarez, Patton, they're all kind of drivers that we would see up at the front in any race. As well as Stevenson, he usually has some pretty good runs as well.
There are sometimes usually the ringers who, you know, just, I mean, I know I do it in iRacing when maybe there's a road course car, perhaps the Pro Mazda these days, or something on those lines that comes to an easier track, or maybe even an oval. I'm like, oh, let me try that combination out. I think I can succeed. We see that here at Sonoma on the NASCAR side as the 76 of Randy Fayash goes a second lap down. But obviously the cream rises to the top here tonight, and Adam de Blasio just seems to have to just run a clean race, and it may be his, but Stevenson is not totally fallen off. He's still only about 2 seconds back.
Yeah, he gained a little bit of time there when de Blasio got held up by the 76, just a little bit there through turn 10. So that allowed Stevenson to close in by about a second there.
Yes, it did. Oops, apologies there on the cameras, but see 49 gets by there. That Landis gets by the 76 of Fayash. So we'll just give you a little bit of a rundown and just show you how far everyone is behind the leader right now. So obviously your leader on lap 14 is Adam de Blasio. He's been out front the entire time, and he's up by now 3 1/3 seconds over Don Stevenson. Colton Landis is 5.2 seconds off the lead in third. We have Guillermo Alvarez 8 seconds back off the leader in fourth. Brad Patton is in a gaggle of cars. This is 13 seconds behind the leader, and look at all three of these drivers, 77 and the 09. This pack of cars has not separated one bit. These guys having a whale of a battle here at the end of the top five. Patton trying to hang on in front of Andrew Fayash, who's trying to hang on to the spot in front of David Rattler. And then we have William Dunn and Jacob Fife just trying to tag on to the end of this train.
Yeah, I think these drivers have been battling for pretty much this entire race, now getting by the 76 of Randy Fayash.
A very tight entry into the hairpin for the one. I don't know if that was going to compromise his turn at all, but he does manage to make that work for him. 77 tried to get a crossover, just didn't have the momentum off of the turn there. And oh, the one looks like he got a little bit loose there heading up the hill, still trying to gather that machine back up. That might allow the 77 to get that little bit closer. He's there.
Going up now into turn 3, putting the bumper to him, spins him out. Oh, he's going to save it though. The one, how did he save that car?
There was some
I thought he was going around.
Let's go back on replay here. So I think there was just a lot of wheel spin there, Evan. I heard the wheel spin as they were coming through that little sector of the track. Yep,
there was contact.
Right there in the center there, as that dip kind of happened, the one kind of got some wheel spin, and that brought the 77 even closer to him. And that just kind of set up that contact, but in good respective style, Fayash and company, just they let Patton get hang of that car, and they keep going.
If anything, that helped Patton a little bit, because he's kind of pulled away from the 77 now.
Yeah, he took that opportunity, and now everyone just maybe has to get their patience just kind of back in check, get their, you know, calm back down after that near miss of an incident there. Stevenson is trying to eat into that gap. Let's bring up the battle tracker between first and second. And it looks like 3/10 faster last time was Don Stevenson, so it seems like he has his opportunities where he's a little bit faster, but then he just loses it, and for every maybe half second he gains, he seems to lose about almost a second in the next couple laps.
But the 49 of Landis, he's also kind of He was quicker than de Blasio and Stevenson last time. Here on a 21.39, and to de Blasio's. Actually, no, I was wrong. Didn't look at the second bracket. It was a 21.39 to a 20. My bad.
Yep, so yeah, he wasn't faster. He just looked at the 10th.
He was a lot slower.
Yes, he looked at the 10th of a second. I know I've done that many a time before, so can't give you too much crap for that. At least you knew what state we were in last week. But again, we are taking lap number 17 here, PTRTV on LSRTV for the Integrity Racing League. It is the Alan Rowell rate 175. He sponsored tonight's race, so hey, he gets the glorification of the title of it. Again, no cautions, no stages, no competition, nothing. This is going to be a straight flag to flag event here tonight. We are 17 laps in, and de Blasio, and as we said, and as his usual style, he's just cleaning the plate here, just dominating this race. But we should have pit stops. I mean, within 10 laps, but I would not be surprised to see a couple guys coming a little bit early.
The 77 and 1 are still going at it here. The 77 got a little bit loose.
Oh.
He's going around. Is he going to save it?
Tokyo
He saved
Drift.
it.
Oh my goodness, give that man a medal. Let's go back on replay. These guys are they are battling like this is the championship event. Let's see, he's trying his hardest to get back by Patton, or get by him originally. Off the track, gets that left rear in the dirt, huge wiggle there, gets the wheel spin, drifts it here. How he didn't get into Patton, jumps over the curb, but keeps it going.
Andrew, this is NASCAR. This is not a drift competition.
I know there is a rallycross track configuration here, but we're not racing that. But the insert sponsor here, Wheelman of the Race Award, goes to Andrew Fayash III.
And that really gave Brad Patton a big gap back to see who is behind him now. Is it Fife? Jacob Fife now to the 6th. He started in 9, so gaining a few spots there.
But Patton's going to need it, Evan, because he hasn't been the fastest of this bunch. He's just been playing the defense and just doing what he needs to do to stay ahead. We know that Fayash is faster, but again, in the same sense of de Blasio up front, who's actually losing his lead to that batter. It's about consistency. It's not about running that quick lap every now and then. It's about consistency.
Which Don Stevenson has been consistently the fastest car on the racetrack for the last few laps. Now has the gap down to under 2 seconds.
Last time.
So I wonder if de Blasio has just kind of burned his tires up a little bit too much.
And remember, halfway in the expected pit stop range, I would assume to be about 25 to 28. We expect these guys to come down, so if that 47 has a better car and already has the tires to chase him down, he's going to have 9 more laps to gain 2 seconds. So,
speaking of pit stops, Colton Landis is in.
Now, yes, there he is on pit lane. Now, is he doing? Well, he must. 1938, so maybe he's going to try 3 stops and
Maybe a 2-stop.
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant.
3 runs.
3 stints, yes. So he's going to try maybe 19, lap 38, and then have about a 17, 18 lap run to the end. That's going to give him 10 laps of tire advantage, but how's that going to work on the stopwatch versus the guys that only do the 1 stop? That's what we're going to have to find out. As right in the middle here is Joseph Yakes. He is in the middle of the 2 leaders right now, and that's really going to get in the way of Stevenson stinting his run a little bit. Not the best opportunity to pass there. Nearly some contact.
So he's going to back out going into turn 10. That's a good call there. But see, is he going to go and try and get by him here in 11? He's going to come to pit road.
And Stevenson had the gap down to 1.3 seconds before he got Yakes there. Now, I wonder if that maybe changed his strategy on the fly, or if this was his strategy all along. So now we have to see, is this going to pull de Blasio in, or are we just going to have a 2-stop versus 1-stop debate here tonight?
Well, de Blasio, he's fallen off about 2.5 seconds. I don't see how he can gain that back.
2.5 seconds over 8 laps. That's only 17 seconds, and the time
and he's going to be probably about 40 or so seconds behind.
Yeah, the time
it's like
on
42
pit
for
road
Landis.
is about 45, 43, 45 seconds, give or take. So if you're only gaining, let's say on 2 stops, you're gaining 32 seconds, you're still 13 seconds back. Or maybe, again, this is a stretch, Evan, hear me out. Do they do this as a one-stopper to the end and just go a 35-lap stint? And try to maximize
it's possible.
And try to get as big of a lead as they can. Wait for de Blasio to pit. Well, oh, I thought he was going down. He killed a cone there. I thought he was going to go down, but he did not.
Just taking a wide entry.
Yeah, very wide entry, but... So do they use an 8-lap advantage, try to get an 18, 19, 20-second advantage, and then just be the chasee. See if they can hang on as that 48 hunts them down. If you know you can't win on speed, I guess win on strategy, but the confusion on my end...
But the thing is, Don Stevenson, I feel like he could have won on speed.
Yeah, and that's what I was just about to get at. If you can't win on speed, win on strategy, but if you can win on speed, I'd rather do that. So now, de Blasio doesn't have to look in the mirror. He just has to avoid a tire wall, which he just nearly about didn't do. But Guillermo Alvarez has taken the second place command over. He is 11 seconds back. Brad Patton back 21 seconds back in third. And then his best buddy, Andrew Fash, about 2 seconds behind him.
Fash did manage to get by Jacob Fife, but Fife hasn't fallen too far off of him.
Yeah, we do have a couple people in chat that are a little confused on why Stevenson pit. So, again, the only way I think Stevenson's going to win this race is to run this to the end. And we're just going to have to see. I don't really see how the two strategy stop is going to work. But, Evan, as I say time and time again, I've been wrong, and I usually am. So, we'll just have to see what happens. And right now we have the... Stevenson is back to 9th spot, and he is 35 seconds off the lead, but he's also running about 2.5 seconds faster a lap.
We'll see here this time what his lap time is compared to de Blasio's. De Blasio ran a 1:21.4, and Stevenson ran a 1:19.3.
Yep, that is 2.1 seconds, which is a lot. But given the advantage that he's going to have to eat into, I just don't think it's enough, especially considering he's going to have to eat into it again, and that gap is going to be bigger. But we have 6 laps before that number 48 machine is most likely due down pit road.
Well, we saw yesterday with Harvick and Truex. Harvick went for the 2-stop and it didn't work out for him.
No, so, I mean, real world versus iRacing, it looks like, at least from what we can see here very early in the race, that the strategies may be of similar nature, but again, a lot of things can change. Unfortunately, on their end, in this race, is they don't have the benefit of a caution flag to perhaps affect things. That's not going to happen today, so only what happens under green is going to affect this race.
Because nothing is going to happen under caution.
Exactly. That was one thing I was thinking yesterday. I didn't get to watch the race entirely, Evan, but I almost feel like, and something you see on road courses a lot, is you saw drivers...
Well, Corey, hang on, I'm going to cut you off here. Colton Landis just got kind of spun around in turn 11 there. He was running in third, I believe, before his pit stop, so... him and Randy Fayash had contact.
Yeah, I'm going to go back here. We're on replay right now as we're coming through corner number 10. Land is trying to get closer to Stevenson. He passes the 76 of Fayash. And Fayash drove it in deep and then...
Did he wheel hop? Looks like he drove it in really deep and then just lost it.
Now, given how he's raced all race, why would he drive it in that deep is, I think, the million-dollar question.
I don't know.
Yeah, he's been very cordial all race, and if anything, too cordial, staying out of the way, but I don't know if there was hardware issues or some ulterior motive there, but he definitely had...
It looked like he really didn't even brake that late. That's usually where I've seen a lot of drivers braking. It's just...
Maybe he tried something different, and then it didn't work for his style, and maybe Landis was the person at the short end of the stick there, I suppose. But the two best friends, they're starting to hang out yet again. It's Friday night at the mall. They are buddies against the 1 and the 77. Actually, I guess at the mall on a Friday night's not a thing anymore this dude day and age, so I'll work on a new analogy for that. But the 77, here he comes in the chute, trying to close into Pat, and yet again, he's not been able to get by under green flag conditions.
Or caution flag conditions.
Or pit stop conditions. He has not managed to get by that one machine all night. So what can he do? Can he get that run through the S's?
See if he can get the run here and then through 10. He'll be set up for 11 to try and make a move.
You can see the wiggle from
he got a
the
little bit loose there, the 1. So that, but then the 77 got a little bit loose through 10. So is he going to go for the dive here in 11? He is not going to. He's going to stay in line 4 now, but taking a little bit wider of an entry, trying to get the better run. And it looks like he is going to a little bit of contact there, maybe, but the 1 is still going to get the run.
Yes, he will, coming through on the little kink there for the start-finish straight, having another kink to the left, and then up the hill we go. Pat seems to be better through that zone of the track, does pull away, but as we come through this first rhythm section, as I like to call it, that's where the 77 really gets to the back bumper and sets himself up for the pass in the chute we've seen time and time again.
Looks like this is where Andrew kind of closes in through 3 and 3A. We'll see here through turn 4.
There he goes, hard
at least driving in. At least driving in, the 77 is faster into 4. Oh, but he got loose there for the chute.
And right behind this, that's David Rattler. This is for position for the third, 4th, and 5th spots, rather. Again, these guys have just been magnetized this entire race.
Which the 09 of Rattler was faster than both of the drivers in front of him by quite a bit last time by. Almost a full second quicker than Patton's. We'll see if he can get by the 77 and try and get by the 1.
And all these drivers pitted on the same lap. There's no tire advantage, so this is just genuine speed and competition. But here we come, and he lets him go, and Patton coming to pit road. This is his scheduled stop. This is his first stop of the race, so.
As well as Fife and Tice.
Yes, you can see them on pit road, but we still have yet to see the top 5 come down pit lane. That's Adam de Blasio, Guillermo Alvarez, Andrew Fayash, David Rattler, and William Dunn. Don Stevenson, last we checked, he was about 34, 35 seconds off the lead. He's now down to 29 seconds off the lead. He's caught William Dunn. This is on pure speed. Dunn has still yet to stop.
See here through 3 and 3A if he can get a good enough a run and try and get by him into 4. And it looks like he's going to get a pretty good run. We'll see. He's taking it to the right side down into 4, and the 43 is just going to let him go.
Yeah, 43 almost got in the dirt there. That if he got in the dirt, sometimes that gets these guys completely out there. So I think he just wanted to avoid collision, realizes you have the better tires, you go right ahead. And the leader on pit road.
De Blasio coming down pit road on lap 26, so this is pretty much going to be halfway. It's close enough. So De Blasio on the 1 stop, and Stevenson, is he on a 1 or a 2 stop? That's going to be the question. Because he's going to have a massive lead over De Blasio.
He is, and he
but he may have to pit again.
We'll have to see. Ultimately, the race is going to be decided by this lead that De Blasio will, well, rather, the lead that Stevenson has over De Blasio, that's going to be the dictator on what Stevenson can do. Remember, it's about a 45-second time now on pit road, as Stevenson has just now passed him going up the hill here. And De Blasio, here he goes.
De Blasio is only going to be about 5 seconds back.
So Evan, you like saying this word. You like saying this worse than I do. Well, better than I do. What would you say Don Stevenson is right now? He is screwed.
Screwed? Okay.
Yeah, I usually don't like saying that, but because right now Stevenson has a 2.5 second buffer. He has 7 lap older tires. He can make it to the end on fuel. That's not a problem. He doesn't have the tires to do so, to stay up front, and he also, if he pits, he's going to have a 45-second deficit. So
yeah, that's not going to end very well for him.
Remember, going back 10 laps, he was gaining rather quickly on that number 48. He had the lead down to 1.3 seconds up from the 3 seconds it was before. So I hate saying, as Fayash is on pit road right now, I hate saying that he threw it away, but I mean, he kind of threw it away.
He threw away his chance at a win.
Yes.
Without a doubt.
I mean, stuff has to play out. I mean, it's racing. We race to the end. We never know what can happen, so we can't call it before it happens. But, again, without the benefit of a caution, without any kind of extreme circumstances going on, just can't see it working out. But for the time being, he is in front of de Blasio by, what is it, 2.2 seconds now.
And he came out of pit road at about 5. 4.5 to 5.
Yeah, so
it's already down to 2.2.
But we are halfway at this point in the race, and although the strategy is on right now, we have 17 drivers. Lance Gentles in the 16. He is the first driver off of the lead lap at the moment. Actually, rather, he is the first driver, the last driver on the lead lap. If I can enunciate that, that would be fantastic right now.
So it looks like there's still 3 drivers that have yet to come to pit road, or 3 lead lap drivers at least.
Caleb Eisenhower, Marco Tomasini, and
David Rattler. He just now came down pit road, so that leaves 2 out there.
And obviously, with the pace, that those drivers aren't under any advantage now. Just they are in the latter end of the top 10 at the moment, so nothing doing there. But the lead up front is now just under 2 seconds for Adam. Well, for Stevenson over Adam. Landis is back, what is that, about 8 seconds off of this. Let's go check on our best friends, Andrew Fayash and Brad Patton. Patton is up by a sizable amount now, a little over 3 seconds. As Rattler coming out of the pits right now, right in front of Fayash. Jacob Fife right behind this. Fife is on slightly older tires though, so I don't think he'll be able to stay with those guys.
Gap now down to about 1.5 seconds. Stevenson to de Blasio. And Stevenson got in the sand a little bit there out of turn 10, so that's going to hurt his lap time a little bit here. Going down into the 11, the gap is about 1 second now. See here coming down the front straightaway what the lap time difference will be for Stevenson to de Blasio. Stevenson ran at 120.3, de Blasio 119.5, so 0.8 of a second quicker for de Blasio, so about 1 second gap, so he should be up to his back bumper by the end of this lap. Going down into turn 3 and 3A now, up that blind right-hander of 3A. In between 3A and 4. And going down into turn number 4 now, gap down to about 3/4 of a second. Down into turn 7. de Blasio gained a ton of time there through 7 now, through 8 and 8A. Don't think he's going to be able to get by him this time unless he gets a really good run through turn 10 and 11, but next time he should be able to at least get to his back bumper, if not get by him. Here through 10 to 47, got a little bit loose once again. Going down through 11 now, 48 taking a little bit wider of an entry, cutting down a little bit more through the center and out of the corner now. 48 getting a ton of time there, but not enough to get by him. Coming down the front stretch now.
So our cameraman was away for a minute there, but backing at it. And what do we have? We have a battle for the lead, as you were alluding to, Evan. And here we come up the hill right now. Only about 2 car lengths.
Yeah, we'll see here as they go up 3 and 3A. 48 is quite a bit better there. Here through 4.
Oh, car spun out there. That is a 16 machine.
Right in front of the leaders.
Lance Gentles. He gets himself out of the way. Does a donut to try to get himself back situated. You can see the front end damage to that car, but that is of minimal significance right now. Coming through the S's, Stevenson trying to hold on to that 48. 48 on significantly better tires on that pit strategy call. Now, if you're Stevenson right now, do you pit the first lap that 48 gets by you?
Oh, man.
Because, I mean, you know that, I mean, most likely anyways, you know you screwed up. So, yeah, if the only thing he can do is pit as soon as possible and just try to maximize the little bit fresher tires that he can get. I mean, it's not good.
I really don't know, actually, because if he stays down, he'll probably stay in second, because the guys that just pitted 3 or 4 laps ago are not running too much quicker lap times than Stevenson, so he should be able to hang on to second if he stays out.
And again, that is going 35 laps to the end, and nobody has done that. So, I mean, we've had.
It's because we're not even 35 laps into the race.
Well, yeah, exactly. But no one's even tried to go for that approach. So he's pretty much. I mean, I'm assuming he thought he was going to do the 2-stop race. He realized it was not going to work. So this is called adjusting your strategy on the fly. And look at that. He got through the chute better. Did pull away by a couple tenths. I just don't see how 7-lap older tires can't hold off for another, what is it, 23 more laps. But and he could maybe got that 48 to drive a little bit too hard, get him to go off track. I mean, it is a possibility. 48 goes wide. Is he going to try to do the high-low exit and then get the run through the exit of the hairpin? Maybe that was the intent, but it did not happen. Stevenson hangs on still.
So Stevenson comes to pit road as soon as de Blasio gets by him. He's only going to fall back to around 10th or 11th. And he should be able to get back up to the top 5, I would think. It's about 8-second difference between 5th and 10th.
Yeah, William Dunn is 10th, 39 seconds back. In Nick Ward in 11th, he's over a minute back. We know it's about 45 seconds. So again, as you said, Evan, he'd go to 10th or 11th. And just on speed alone, I mean, I don't see any reason why he couldn't gain 10, 15 seconds. But
and that put him up to 5th, but if he stays out, he should be able to hang on to 2nd, I would think.
Right now, Landis is running a second slower than these guys at the moment.
And he's on pretty much the same tires as Stevenson.
So Landis is in that position as well. As what does he do? Does he call this race as a one-stopper, or does he split it in half? Well, his segments in half, which will be pitting within a lap to 3 laps. I just think that maybe they thought more drivers were going to pit, or maybe they thought there was going to be a better time advantage gained on that extra stop, but they learned the hard way that it's not happening.
So is de Blasio just taking it easy right now, trying to not tear equipment up? Because Stevenson's actually kind of starting to pull away a little bit.
I mean, just knowing de Blasio the way we do, I don't think he likes running in second. So I'm more one to believe that maybe he's just... I don't know, Evan. Maybe he is. I mean, if you're the lead, if you're in the second, you know you're faster, don't you just want to get by and just pull away?
Yeah, but with how tough it is to pass here, is he just trying to not tear anything up, just wait for Stevenson to make a mistake or something? Yeah,
wait for that perfect opportunity and not force it. As there he goes right to the back bumper, but hops the curb there, entering the S's. Hops another curb. Got to watch out for that. That is a dangerous thing. It can get you really loose. Coming down into the left-hand flick here, high-speed section of the track, getting ready for the right-hander and the best setup opportunity to make a pass. This is as close as he's been. He's going to take that dive to the inside. But
he's not able to get there.
Couldn't get there, didn't fully dive it on in deep enough, or maybe he just, again, erring on the side of caution. But a complete lap number 34 here tonight, lap number 35 on the board. Battle for the lead full on right now. Nearly thought the 48 got the concrete in the exit of the start-finish straight, but just did avoid it.
Got loose there.
It's gonna, but this is a part of the track. There's no passing opportunity. He blocked both sides of the track. 48 right to the back bumper. He's going to try to cut to the inside off the exit of the blind right-hander. 47 got off that corner pretty well heading into the chute. First right-hander goes wide, gets a little bit loose.
Here comes the 48 for the dive down into 7. We'll see here, and the 48's going to be side by side through the S's, but he's going to drop back. So 47 back to the lead.
48 is definitely erring on the side of caution, and it was most evident by that move right now. He's faster. He wants to get by. He knows he can get by, but I just do not think he wants to do anything that's going to ruin either of these drivers' race. See, he goes a little bit wide there, and that gives him the ability to cut for the better exit. Gets right to the back bumper, but the 47, even on those older tires, is able to get that drive off, get that bite off the hairpin.
20 laps to go now, so de Blasio still has plenty of time. And he just needs to be patient to not tear his car up
and Stevenson has plenty of time to lose it. You can see he's already losing it, and he's supposed to do this for 20 more laps on these tires.
Yeah, he is driving extremely hard right now, just trying to keep that 48 behind him. And it's worked so far, but is he going to be able to hang on for another 20 laps?
No.
And here comes 48 coming once again through 7, taking another look, trying to make another move here. But he's not going to be able to do it, I don't think. Or will he?
They're side by side through the S's, and de Blasio, again, uses the side of caution, uses his intelligence to back out of that situation. He knows Stevenson's not going to back off, but this is his race on the line right now. De Blasio does have the upper hand, so he's just cautiously using that upper hand, and again, stays behind and stays in second. 47 hangs on.
See, every time through turns 4 and then 7, the 48 is so much better through those corners. It can just get right underneath them going into 7. So the 47 knows that's his weak spot, so he's going to try his hardest to defend those corners. And in doing that, could cause him to overdrive it, which will give the 48 even more of an advantage.
You could just see the 47 just getting that wheel spin off every turn. Those tires are already done on that 47, but he is not even halfway through his stint right now. He does get a pretty good run off that turn. I got to give him credit. And here we come into the hard braking zone. 48.
That was a pretty good run through 4 there for the 47. That's the best one he's had.
48 didn't hit the curb at all. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but see both of them using that curb to get that car to turn, and big wiggle there using the curb for the 47. This is the hardest section of the track to do on these older tires. See, here they come, just holding a pretty steady gap. De Blasio gets that better run through the left-hander. Who's going to get the better run through the right-hander? It's actually going to be the 47. 48 still close, though. Is he going to go for the dive? Nope, he's going to just stay in line cautiously. 47
right
goes
here, he
wide.
takes the look. 48 taking a look out of turn 11, but not going to be able to get there. The 47 got a really good run there out of 11 and cleared him and is pulling away.
Now, we have to give all of the credit in the world to that 47. He is doing a masterful job right now, given what he has to deal with right now. But look at that 47 within inches of him up the hill there.
This is the 47's weakest section, it seems like, here through 3 and 3A now. That 48 is just a lot quicker than he is here through 4. We'll see who can get the better run through here. And it looks pretty even actually there.
And obviously with the 48 running as close as he is on the stopwatch, these guys are pretty much identical. But here we come. This is de Blasio. Took a look to the right side there. He's done that about 4 or 5 times, backed off every time. Thankfully, coming through the S's, which is obviously just, there's only one way through them. And here comes Stevenson pulling out to about a 1 car length lead, but this is where de Blasio has been getting many runs, but he's been very cautious. Is he going to be cautious this time? This is the best run he's had. Dives it to the inside, all the way to the inside. 47 goes very wide, and that's going to be the dagger.
So now what does the 47 do?
Well,
he's going to try and get the lead back.
Yeah, the 48 didn't get off the hairpin at all that time, but he got through the start-finish kink better than the 47 and up the hill. Stevenson has a 9.5 second gap over Landis, who's on the same strategy as him. Now that the battle for the lead's going on, we'll give you a little bit of a summary. Landis is in third. He's on the same exact sequence as Stevenson right now. That is 10 seconds off the lead as the 49. Alvarez, who is on the same strategy as de Blasio, pitting at halfway, is 8 seconds behind Landis. And the gap there, they're only running about 2 to 3 tenths of a second different on the lap on the scoreboard right now. Is the 49 and the 83. So if you're Stevenson on the stopwatch, I think he's running the same times as the 49 and the 83.
So that means
he's gonna have to stay out.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, that's not going to be a fun drive at all, and I am not envious one bit of what that 47 is going to have to do for the next 17 laps, but 16 at least. But I mean, for a track position, he has one move he can make, and that's to stay out. And I don't think that was his intent coming into this race. At least, I mean, I don't know. If he does finish on the top 3, we'll talk to him after the race, hopefully, but I don't think that was his intent going into this race.
He was a couple tenths quicker than Landis, and then
a full second off of the lead.
Yeah, and 4 tenths slower than Alvarez. But I don't think Alvarez is going to be able to catch up to him.
Yeah, that's 17 seconds. So at 4 tenths a lap, I mean, do the math, carry the 6. I mean, I don't think it's going to work. We're down to 11 drivers on the lead lap. Nick Ward in the 97, last one on the lead lap. He is 1 minute and 7 seconds off the lead, so he has about a 14-second buffer approximately before he is next on the chopping block. Top will give you the rundown of everyone on the lead lap right now. Adam de Blasio, your new leader after finally getting back ahead of Stevenson, who's in second. Colton Landis in third. Guillermo Alvarez in fourth. David Rattler in fifth. And we have, Andrew Fayash running in sixth. Brad Patton in seventh. Jacob Fife in eighth. And that is a battle, a live battle right now. Let's take a look and watch that. He's trying to get by Joseph Tice in the 25. Actually, I'm not sure who's trying to get a who right now, to be honest, but right behind them is the 43 of William Dunn.
Looks like the 25 was behind the 36 and did manage to get by him, so now we'll see if Tice can pull away here.
And if William Dunn can get by the 36, as it seems to be, that is on his agenda right now, coming through the hairpin, just hard dive into the braking zone, very wide there goes the 43.
Dunn is on 1 lap pressure tires in both the 25 and the 36.
Yep, so it does look like the 25 is out to pull away from these drivers, and Jacob Fife and the 36, he is running now in 9th, we could say definitively. William Dunn running in 10th. And last one on the lead lap is Nick Ward, but let's just keep going through the field here, shall we? We have Caleb Eisenhower in 12th, Jason Miller in 13th, Lance Gentles in 14th, and James Hudson in 15th. Evan.
Marco Tomasini in 16th, Jay Heisman in 17th, Samuel Nato in 18th, Alan Rowell in 19th, Tom Wetmore in 20th, Joseph Yakes in 21st, Neil Frolich in 22nd, Kenton Weatherall in 23rd, Randy Fash in 24th, Alan Parry in 25th. Corey?
And just remaining out the field right now, none of these drivers are on track. We have Lee Pierce, Camilio Thompson, Todd Thomas, and Eric de Blasio all out of tonight's race. But up front, and we're at the lap of no return right now. If Stevenson and Landis were going to pit, they would have already done so, presumably, because they would have been on pit road at the probably lap 38, 39. So they are in for the long haul at this point. Adam de Blasio up to about a 3.5 second lead over Stevenson, who is 9.5 seconds ahead over Landis, who is 7.5, pushing 8 seconds ahead of Alvarez, and right behind Alvarez, 3 1/3 seconds back to David Rattler. So 14 laps to go. I'm going to take a little bit of a breather here and go side by side for a moment, and we'll be back with you for the finish of tonight's race. So stay with us here on PTRTV on LSRTV.
Red Bull GRCs are now available on iRacing. I personally put my blood, sweat, and tears into this thing, developing the cars, the tracks, the dirt, making sure it is authentic as possible, and I really think you guys are going to love it. The best part is that this 600 horsepower Volkswagen Beetle is free to all members. So get signed up now and come race me online.
Back here live, PTRTV on LSRTV for the Integrity Racing League, the Alan Rowell 175 here tonight. If you saw it on the side-by-side, some good racing going on here still. William Dunn, Jacob Fife, and Brad Patton, 8th, 9th, and 10th. Best battle on the track. Right now, Adam de Blasio, your leader, up by 6 seconds over second place Don Stevenson.
Yeah, 11 laps to go for de Blasio. But like you said, Corey, got a pretty good battle going on. Well, now Dunn is starting to pull away from Jacob Fife. I don't know if Fife had a few bad corners or Dunn had a few good corners, but he's pulling away now.
And there is another potential battle in the works right now. That is Guillermo Alvarez trying to hang on as David Rattler is closing in, only about a half second. So I think that is most certainly going to be a battle. These guys both on the same laps of tires right now. So this is just a pure battle of speed at the moment, 83 in the 09.
Which last time by, the 09 was what, about 6/10 quicker than Alvarez. So Rattler must have done a pretty good job of saving his tires.
That or the 83 just made a humongous mistake. One of the two options, but we'll focus on this for time being. See what happens as both of them digging on the curb there. Popping those two wheels in the air, but coming through this setup corner right here and see if the 09's close enough to go for it.
Yeah, he got a good run out of 10. He's gonna have the opportunity to go for the run or go for the dive, but he chose not to. 83 killing a few cones again there. We're here through 11. The 09's gonna take a look. He's not gonna have the run out of the corner though.
Yeah, that is the hard part there. It's just getting the power down and not getting it down too much to loop you through there and spin through the empty space in the hairpin there. That's very easy to do. I've done it many a time myself. So just has to fall back in line and find another opportunity. He's going to have 10 laps worth of opportunities to get this pass done, and I don't think he's going to have any time to get to Landis ahead of him, so this is probably going to be the last position that Rattler might be able to get.
Which we know Rattler is faster than Alvarez, but is he going to be able to get by him? Here through 4, he got a good run. Here through the chute, is he going to take a look down into 7? He is not. He's going to back off early, trying to get the run through the corner, and I don't know if he's going to be trying to set him up for 11 again, because that's really going to be the next passing zone.
Yeah, he had a very good run on there. That was a very good opportunity. Not sure why he chose to stay in line. Maybe just being patient, maybe just trying to stay in line, not giving that 83 a chance to get back around, perhaps, but a lot of curb there through that corner for the 09. I think that got him loose, still loose. That'll cost him some ground heading into 11. Cone in the middle of the track. Oh, there it goes.
That cone almost passed that 09 back, but 09's going to get by Alvarez.
Yeah, who just did
he
not.
Just let him go?
I think
so. He just hit really wide.
Probably a combination of the two. Alvarez knew that he was the slower of the two vehicles and maybe just could not hang on anymore. And as you said earlier, Evan, just don't want to use up your stuff and spin out. Just accept what you can do and accept what you have, and if you know you can't get more than that, just don't try for it, I guess. Alvarez right now is, I mean, as long as he doesn't screw up, he's gonna finish 5th. Andrew Fash is 16 seconds behind him at the moment.
And they're on pretty much the same tires. And they're around about pretty much the same lap speeds, and actually seem like Alvarez was a little bit quicker.
Now, something that we do need to watch, Evan, and I just kind of called it out as something that's not going to happen, but I'm kind of taking that back, is Rattler versus Landis right now. Landis, remember, he's on the same call as Stevenson now. He's going to be on that ultra-long run, and he only has about 6.5 seconds, but he was a full second slower last time compared to Rattler. So that may be a position opening up for that 09 to dig on. He's going to have to dig pretty hard, but there's a slim chance he might be able to get to Landis.
Yeah, because this should be about 8 laps to go, so if he just keeps up a second a lap quicker, he'll get to him.
See what it is this time by, and actually only about 4/10 that time by, so that's not going to get her done, but
yeah, Rattler, he got held up by the 87 a little bit through 10 and 11.
And that's 2 big corners of the track for speed, so see if that turns out to be the Achilles heel on that lap, or maybe that is just going to be the trend. We will find out. But Stevenson has dropped back 8 seconds now over de Blasio. De Blasio heading through some traffic here through the S's. Gets by the 45 machine of, I believe that's Samuel Nato. Yes, it is. And then right in front of the 48 at the moment is, who is that machine? That is
Trolich. He just came to pit road.
All right, so he's no longer in the way. That's why I couldn't find him.
Because he disappeared.
Yes, he did. He done there disappeared on me.
We'll see what the lap time difference is here for Rattler and Landis.
Let's see.
Rattler coming out of 11 now.
Landis with a 121.81. And Rattler a 120.666. So that is 1.2 seconds. That will get it done.
But he just needs to do that every single lap from now to the end.
And then make a smooth pass.
Or up to him, but he could also not make a smooth pass. It's his choice.
As we've also seen on this channel a couple times recently. So, not that we like calling people out at all. But let's go on board. I want to go on board with Don Stevenson right now, and that is because he's one of the 2 drivers now that is on this ultra long run that is their strategy call. Let's just kind of see what their telemetry is. And
can you see throttle input scoring?
that is not something that is transmitted on iRacing, unfortunately. So, but we can see the RPMs now live on the digital dash. You can also see gear and how much wheel he's putting into it. So, see, he's very, very smooth on that throttle, especially given the tire call that he has. That is very smooth inputs. I got to give him a lot of credit on that.
That's why he's in P2 right now.
Yeah. See, very smooth up the hill here. Comes up through the top of the hill. See, he doesn't even try to get on the throttle until he's on a straighter part of the corner, right? The straighter part of the exit of the corner there, whatever you want to call that. Because if he gets on the throttle at the wrong point, he's around. He is so gentle on that. Into first gear here for this right-hander, down to 47 miles an hour. Second gear, up to 103. Third gear. Keeps it in third gear. Right-hander, a little bit of curb. He's going to have some lap traffic ahead of him now. Only about half throttle there through that left-hander. Sounded like anyways. Oh,
car in front around.
Car around, gets by with...
Is that Nick Ward? Yes, it is, the 97.
Yep, and then here he comes into 11 underneath the 94 of Rowell. Oh, a little bit of wiggle there, a little bit of wheel spin, trying to get it under control. He does so. So that is
5 laps to go now.
That is a lap with the 47, 10.7 seconds off of the lead. Gonna follow up with the battle of William Dunn and Joseph Tice. That is for 7th spot, only about a half second separating them.
Getting by to 16 now. Through turns 9, now going down into 10. And Tice got a little bit wide through 10, and allowed the 43 to gain on him just a little bit now through 11. 25 getting a bit loose entering the corner. He's going to go wide down the exit. That's going to allow the 43 to get right next to him.
Nearly some contact there, but they evade each other just narrowly. Taking 4
25 loose
laps.
on the front stretch there.
4 to go. And how many times have you ever said that in your life, Evan? Loose on the front stretch.
It's not very often.
Maybe at a quad oval or like at Atlanta or something like that, but not a very common saying. But again, with that front stretch being a very tight section of the track, almost like a street circuit with the walls very close on each side, and then you're navigating 2 quick flicks to the left. It is not an easy sector of the track. So here we come through the chute. 25 does not get as good of a run as the 43, but the 43 does take the cautious route, backs off early. And here we come through the S's. 43 again gets right to the bumper again. He's a lot better on acceleration, it does seem.
So see if he can get close enough to try and make a move through 11, coming through turn 9 now. Going down into 10. We'll see, can he stay close enough to make a move? 25 is going to get loose. That's going to allow him to make a move down into 11.
Yes, he does. 43 goes to the inside. The 25 is going to keep it on the outside, trying to pinch the 43 down. That is not a successful endeavor, so move William Dunn up to 7th. Can Tice hang on for a potential repass? Does not appear to be the case. Drives it hard up the hill. 43 goes a little bit wide. That'll allow the 25 to close back into the bumper of Dunn. We can get through this little sector here, top of the hill. Blind right-hander heading down into the chute. 43 gains a couple car lengths on him. That's going to be pretty pivotal as this is a passing zone.
Looks like the 43 is just overall quicker right now, so I don't think the 25 is going to be like close enough to get back by him.
Yeah, I don't believe so either, so that battle is over. And remember, we were watching a battle, well, we were watching a potential battle with Landis and Rattler, and only 1 second separating them coming, well, we are on 3 laps to go.
And Rattler is driving that thing hard. He is sideways on exit, corner entry, through the corner, off in the sand, but he is still gaining time.
And he's sideways on some of the straightaways as well. But
he's just sideways in general.
Again, this is not the rallycross version, but it'd be kind of hard to tell by some of these drivers here tonight. Look at him through that corner.
Drifted it through 4.
And he's gaining time in the process. That is the crazy aspect of it, but he's not going to want to do that, as now he has some competition. He's going to have to make this pass, and I don't think these driving styles are going to make a pass successfully, but we'll see. Coming through the S's.
And last time by, he was the fastest car on the track. And he's on pretty much the same tires as the leader.
Well, I've been doing something wrong all week, apparently. So
just drive it sideways and in the sand, and you'll be fast.
09 showing us some new driving tactics here. Give him some lessons on YouTube. He can teach us all how to drive. But he's going to have 2 more laps around Sonoma Raceway, and who else is going to have 2 more laps is Adam de Blasio, who's out to 15 seconds nearly over Don Stevenson, who's in second. And this is the battle for third, as these guys just take 2 laps to go. 09 trying to go to the outside. Maybe doing a little bit of a crossover. That's the tactic. He's going to get to the inside. This is not a prime passing scenario, not even a passing opportunity at all.
He's going to back off there into 3 and 3A. He's going to try and get the run once again.
Hops the curb.
He's going to try and get by him in 4.
He hops the curb, looks to the inside. 49. Oh, look, a little bit of wheel spin, a little bit of wheel hop on corner entry there. Got him loose, but they're still going to be side by side. 49 gets loose on the straightaway, still side by side through this sector of the track. Are they going to go side by side through the S's?
Yes.
I don't think Landis has the tires to do so.
Loose there.
Yeah, he ran out of tires there, because remember, he's been out there for 35 laps as who was that? Fayash.
76.
Yeah, that is Randy Fayash off track. But
so last time by, Rattler was 4/10 quicker than de Blasio.
They're on nearly identical tires, but already coming up the hill, this is the white flag lap for your leader, Adam de Blasio, who, I mean, what else do we have to say about Adam de Blasio? He's dominating the season. He's going to have his 5th win, his 14th top 5
in 15 races.
So he's only been 2 races this season that he has not been in contention for the win. He's going to have led all but 12 laps of this race, and those 12 laps were due to him getting by Stevenson, who is on an alternate tire call. So, I mean, I don't know what else to say. These guys, really second on back in this league, are going to have to dig deep and just find a way to knock the 48 off the crown, off the top of the chain here, because he's just doing absolutely everything right as we head through the summer stretch and getting ready for the playoffs in the beginning of the fall. But coming through the hairpin for the final time here tonight, that number 48 machine will sail it off in there with the no competition. He'll get through smoothly. And here comes Adam de Blasio, king of the road here tonight for Integrity Racing League. Adam de Blasio wins at Sonoma.
And Don Stevenson coming through turns 11, now going real wide through there. Going on to the front straightaway now.
In our timing sector of the overlay, not quite designed for these large intervals, but they are right, as Stevenson will cross the line for second, and Rattler, gets taken out at the line by Wetmore.
He gets taken out the line, but hangs on to third.
What happened there, we must find out. Was
Wetmore just got sideways. Got really loose coming to... He just got loose out of 11. Didn't straighten it back up at all.
Yeah, he was just breakdancing, essentially, trying to get control of that thing. And luckily, there was nothing on the line for Rattler at that point in the race, so he does kind of Terry Labonte at Bristol in '95 style, just cross the line with a destroyed vehicle. But we will have to actually, let's do the results here before we step away, as we have a little bit of time to wait for these drivers to come into the booth here tonight for interviews. So let's start the final rundown here and do the final results from Sonoma Raceway. With the victory here tonight, Adam de Blasio leading 44 laps. Takes it home tonight. Don Stevenson with a second. Then we have David Rattler in third, Colton Landes in fourth, Guillermo Alvarez in fifth, Andrew Fayash in sixth, William Dunn in seventh, Joseph Tice in eighth, Jacob Fife in ninth, and then Brad Patton rounding out the top 10.
Caleb Eisenhower coming home in 11th, Jason Miller in 12th, Lance Gentles in 13th, James Hudson in 14th, Marco Tomasini in 15th. Then we have Samuel Nato, Tom Wetmore, Alan Rowell, Joseph Yakes, and Neil Frolich.
21st through 21st through the remainder of the field, rather. Kent Weatherall in 21st, Nick Ward in 22nd. We have Randy Fayash in 23rd, Jay Heisman in 24th, Alan Bahari 25th, Lee Pierce, Camilio Thompson, Todd Thomas, and Eric de Blasio round out tonight's field here at Sonoma Raceway. So we are waiting on these drivers to join our room here to be able to talk to us. So just going to be a moment for that. We actually do have one driver ready for interview, so while we have the opportunity, let's grab him. Let's try to grab Don Stevenson if we can. And I think Evan has caught up with him.
So Don, you come in with a second place finish here at Sonoma. What are your thoughts after this race?
I'm tired. That was an awesome race there with Adam. I mean, I tried to short pit and try to do some strategy, and might have worked, but a couple of other things didn't pay my way, and held him off as long as I could, but man, he was just so strong and couldn't hold him off that whole time.
Yeah, with your strategy, were you planning on just doing the one stop, just short pitting really early, or did you plan on doing a two stop there?
No, I had planned to, well, I wanted to short pit, but when Colton pitted the lap before I did, I didn't want to be behind him when it cycled through, because the races I've done through this week, even if you were faster and so on, it was very difficult to get around them, and I just didn't want to have to fight Colton there. So I tried to, I thought he was on a one-stop strategy as well, and short pitted as early as I did, just, you know, for the heck of it. And when he short pitted that early, I was like, wow, that's really early. But my strategy was I wanted to short pit and then end up with the lead, you know, towards, you know, when it cycled through, and hoped that I could build up a big enough gap. But I wasn't able to get a big enough gap. I got held up with the lap traffic just a little bit. I mean, they didn't do anything wrong. They were battling for position. It was just the way it cycled through. And, you know, I wasn't able to get as big of a gap on Adam, and then I really, really drove the wheels off of it and wore the crap out of those rear tires. I mean, I was skating around there pretty good the last 30 laps.
Yeah, it's like there's a handful on it there, but is there anyone you would like to thank or shout out to after your second place finish here?
Yeah, I got to say hello to my mom and dad. Love them very much. Love my wonderful wife here. Allows me to race all the time. Integrity Racing League, with this terrific league we got here. Just terrific racing every week. And you guys, LSRTV, for doing the great broadcasting you guys are doing every week.
All right, thanks for that. Thanks for talking with us, and congrats on your second place finish.
So we do not have third place David Rattler. We'll see if he'll join in a moment, but while he's here, let's bring up the winner of tonight's race, and I'll talk to him, Adam de Blasio. Well, Adam, seems to be very familiar territory for you these days, just dominating these races and obviously heading to the right-handers and the left-handers at Sonoma. Did you have any concerns, or were you confident in your road course skills to be able to pull this off?
I don't want to say I was confident, because you should never be confident entering a race. Well, you can be confident, but you can't say I'm gonna win this race hands down, because yeah, really fast drivers. Rattler is really fast. Stevenson is really fast, and I knew it was gonna be a battle with them, and I just I just had to keep in my mind, if I hit my marks with smooth, no mistakes, I could have a shot at the win. And this is the second best track on iRacing behind Darlington. I can finally say I'm a road course winner in integrity, which makes me really happy.
Yeah, I think your paint scheme might have a little bit of help behind that as well. We know how that rainbow scheme used to be here at Sonoma back in the day, but strategy-wise, man, we were a little confused tonight. We didn't really think anybody was going to do a two-stop race, and that's what we thought the 47 was going to do as early as he pitted, because he was closing in on you there at the end of that stint before he pitted. Was there any kind of thought in your mind of getting on the same strategy as them, or were you set on what your plan was?
I have a plan going in, and I stick to it. I don't really change it based on other people. I saw that Don was closing in on me, and I'm like, oh no, I burned up my tires a little bit more than him, which I thought I did a good job this week in NIS and AFIX, not burning them up. And I'm like, man, I'm gonna have to find something the second stint. And then all of a sudden I look on my relative and I don't see him in second anymore, and Guillermo is in second, and I'm thinking, oh, he must have pitted, because you can go about, the most you can go here is 37 laps on field. So lap 19 opens up the window, and I think Don pitted lap 20. So I saw that and I'm like, okay, he's gonna gain time on me. I'm gonna pay at halfway, like it makes sense to do in my mind at least. And we'll see where I come out in relation to him by lap 27. I actually pitted a lap earlier because I was a little bit concerned about running him down. I just wanted the extra lap just in case I needed it to run him down. And when I saw that he was like 4 or 5 seconds ahead of me when I came out pit road, I was like, okay, just run smooth laps. Don't burn off your rear tires trying to catch him. And then when I caught him, I didn't want to hit him. I didn't want to make contact. I waited for him to either make a mistake, which he never made a mistake because it's Don and he's such a good driver. Instead, I waited for his tires to give up on him a little bit. And then when I finally made my move in 11, that was basically my move to get around him, and that's the only time I shifted into first gear all race to try and get around him, and it got me all sideways and stuff off the corner. But the other times where I was just testing the waters, seeing how hard he was going to race me for it and see where his weak points were and stuff like that.
Yeah, you definitely showed patience there. You got by cleanly and you drove off. And obviously into victory lane here tonight. So who do you want to give your shout-outs to, man?
Jacob Fife for running this league. As always, you guys, PTRTV on LSRTV. I think that's still your brand. I love watching your broadcasts. You guys do an excellent job, and I love the camera angles. They're new. They're not like the TV 1, 2, or 3 that I'm used to. So I'm definitely gonna rewatch this race for the commentary and the camera angles. I want to thank my teammates at Rowell Brothers Racing, Joseph Tice, my brother Eric de Blasio, Carl Shed, Trevor Rapolo, Bruce Ackerman. I want to thank the sponsor of the race, Alan Rowell. He always sponsors the road races, and we appreciate it because it helps with some of the bills of the league. Fife could be saying that as league owner, but I'll say it for him. I understand finances and stuff pretty well. And I'm sure I'm forgetting someone, but man, got that win at Sonoma. Next track on the list is Darlington that I really want to win at.
Yeah, well, we'll be following you as that track comes up and through the summer season into the chase. So, and congrats on the win, Adam, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you soon.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So that is our interviews here. We do not have David Rattler, so we'll have to call it a broadcast after that. So again, we already brought you the final rundown, so we'll wrap up coverage here tonight with our sponsor shoutouts. Give a shout out to longtime sponsors here on PTRTV on our side of things. We have Air Movement and Fabrications, Krutz Custom Graphics, iBog iRacing Overlay Graphics, and as Adam was alluding to, Track Cam's 4 Gourmets is the views that you saw tonight for tonight's coverage. So I want to give a shout out to him, trackcams22.com, if you like what you see. So again, thanks for tuning in here tonight to PTRTV on LSRTV. We brought you the Integrity Racing League here tonight at Sonoma. They follow the Cup schedule every week on Mondays, so we'll be bringing you coverage from Chicagoland next week here on Monday night on PTR and LSRTV. And of course, you want to stay tuned tomorrow night for Tuesday night's coverage of the American Sim Racing Series. That'll be the Truck Series at Chicagoland as well. That'll most certainly be another race worth watching, so stay tuned for that. And of course, stay tuned to all of LSRTV's content, and make sure you don't miss any of the racing here on the channel. So signing out of the booth here tonight is Corey Silva and Evan Black, and Joe Chris working behind the scenes. Have a great night, everyone, and we'll catch you next time.
Have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow.